This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Well, good afternoon. I'm Elena Rusk, and we start with another shooting. One person shot in Northeast Bakersfield early this morning. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says they received a call for shots being fired in the area of North Inyo and Irene Streets just before 2:45. Deputies arrived to find a man lying in the road, and he was taken to the hospital, but no further information has been released. Meanwhile, the coroner has identified the victim in yesterday's homicide in Oildale. Kern County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a report of a man down on North Chester Avenue near Norris at 2:40 yesterday morning. Deputies found 30-year-old Francisco Xavier Rodriguez Jr. dead near the railroad tracks, killed by an apparent gunshot wound. At this time, there is no suspect information, so anyone with information is asked to call the Kern County Sheriff's Office at 861-3110 or the Secret Witness Hotline at 322-4040. And now to your 17 Court Watch. We are learning more about the case of a driver shot to death on Highway 58 earlier this month. Newly released court documents show the three suspects, Tavion Wandick, Danelle King, and Christopher Thompson, all identified as members of the East Side Crips, were leaving a shopping stop at the Valley Plaza Mall the evening of May 5th when the California Highway Patrol says they came across a man in a Chevy Camaro who belonged to the rival Country Boy Crips. The court documents say surveillance footage and GPS ankle monitors show the men followed the Camaro from the mall onto Highway 99 and then onto the 58, where witnesses reported the suspect firing at the Camaro, causing it to crash east of Union Avenue. The 24-year-old driver, whose name has not yet been released, was hit by multiple rounds and pronounced dead at the scene. Wandick, King, and Thompson were charged with first-degree murder, among other offenses, and are being held without bail. They are due back in court May 25th. All right, 17 News is your local election headquarters, and we are now just 21 days from the 2022 midterm primary election here in California. All active registered voters in Kern County should have gotten your ballots in the mail by today. Now, if you believe you're registered to vote but haven't received your bail, contact Kern County Elections by phone at 868-3590 or by email at elections@kerncounty.com. Now, after you fill out your ballot, you can mail it back to the elections office or drop it off at an official drop box. Those are all open starting today. Visit kernvote.com election information to see if a drop box is available throughout the county nearest you. And if you plan to vote in person and you received a ballot in the mail, be sure to bring your ballot with you to the polling site to surrender it. You have until May 23rd to register to vote if you wish to get a vote by mail ballot. You can still conditionally register to vote between the 23rd and Election Day at the elections office or at a polling site and vote in person. TV 17 is hosting our next debate tonight, featuring the candidates for the 16th Senate District. We're hosting Democrats Nicole Parra and Brian Osorio, along with Republicans David Shepard and Gregory Tatum. Democratic State Senator Melissa Hurtado declined to participate. Now, that's all happening tonight at 7 p.m. right here on KGET. If you have a topic you would like us to ask the candidates, please email your question to 17news@kget.com. Make sure you put candidate debate question as the subject line of the email, and you may see your question featured in tonight's debate. And now to some headlines from around the nation. U.S. border officials encountered 234,088 migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border in April, far surpassing March's 22-year high of just over 221,000. Those numbers are according to a court document filed yesterday. April marks the fourth time in the Biden administration that monthly border encounters have topped 200,000. Each undocumented migrant who either reports to the authorities at legal ports of entry or tries to cross illegally and is caught is tallied as an encounter. The April figure is likely to heighten pressure from Republicans and some Democrats to maintain an anti-COVID public health measure known as Title 42, which has blocked more than 1.7 million migrants from staying in the U.S. to seek asylum. Those opposed to lifting the order say doing so could overwhelm an already strained system responsible for processing immigrants and, in some cases, deporting them back to their home countries. And now to some news from around town. This week, demolition crews contracted by Union Pacific Railroad will begin removing an auxiliary building and antennas near and around the historic Sumner Rail Station property in Old Town Kern. The depot itself will not be demolished and remains leased to the city. The demolition work is expected to begin early this week and will take 2 to 4 weeks to complete. The city of Bakersfield said in a news release that it remains committed to retaining its connection to our history and that the removal of the ancillary buildings and equipment will benefit the Sumner Rail Station. All right, now to some education news as the area's first high schoolers of the season will walk across that graduation stage this evening. Garces Memorial High School will hold their commencement ceremonies for the graduating class of 2022 tonight at 7:30. Now, tonight's ceremonies will be held on Sam Tobias Field, and the school says they are proud to report 100% of the graduates will be pursuing a post-secondary education or serving our country in the armed forces. Incredible there. And it was a night of beautiful music performed by hundreds of local elementary school students. Love that sound. The Bakersfield City School District hosted its 46th annual Elementary Festival concert at the Mechanics Bank Convention Center last night. More than 500 students from the district's string ensemble, honor orchestra, and festival chorus performed. All right, heads up, county firefighters will conduct a prescribed burn tonight that may cause some traffic delays. The burn will take place from 4 p.m. to midnight at Highway 223 and the 58. Kern County Fire says it's an effort to reduce the risk of wildfires there. Officials warn drivers to watch out for the crews and slow down. And a reminder, the hazard reduction clearance deadline, that's to create a defensible space around your home, is coming up June 1st.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OB/GYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Well, out of the coronavirus, and this morning the Food and Drug Administration authorized a booster dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. These elementary age kids can now get a booster shot at least 5 months after they've received the primary 2-dose series. The booster shot is 10 micrograms, the same dosage as the primary series for that age group, and a third of the dosage given to people ages 12 and up. The FDA's decision will now go to the CDC for discussion on Thursday. Shots could then begin as early as Friday. Now, according to data from the CDC, less than a third of the 28 million 5 to 11-year-old American children have received their initial 2 doses of a COVID vaccine. And you can now order more free at-home COVID-19 tests. The government first started offering the free at-home tests in January, with a second round available to be shipped out in March. Now, a third round of free at-home tests are available to order. Every home in the U.S. is eligible. Just order yours online at covid.gov. And now to the latest COVID-19 case numbers here in Kern County, as Public Health updated their dashboard this morning to report 380 new positive cases and no new deaths. State data shows we have 25 patients still hospitalized in Kern County, with 3 listed in intensive care units. All right, also new here at noon, crib bumpers and incline sleepers blamed in more than 200 baby deaths will soon be completely banned. President Joe Biden signed legislation yesterday that prohibits the manufacture or sale of some infant sleep products. Companies have 180 days to comply with this new law. Infants' noses and mouths can be covered by a crib bumper or stuck between the bumper and a crib mattress, causing suffocation. The American Academy of Pediatrics guidance for parents for safe sleep for infants is a firm, flat, clutter-free mattress with a taut sheet, no blankets, pillows, crib bumpers, or stuffed animals. All right, now to business news. Despite rising prices, retail sales increased last month. The Commerce Department reported this morning monthly sales rose 0.9% overall, just below the Dow Jones estimate for a 1% increase. These numbers are not adjusted for inflation, so they're indicative of both sustained spending as well as the fastest acceleration prices in the U.S. Now, March's spending was revised substantially higher from the original estimate of 0.5% to a 1.4% gain. All right, now to gas prices. The price for a gallon of gas here in California is officially $6 a gallon on average, the highest it has ever been. Now, despite those costs and soaring inflation, the Automobile Club of Southern California is projecting its 4th busiest Memorial Day weekend on record. In Southern California alone, which includes Kern County, according to AAA's regions, about 2.6 million people are expected to travel by car. That means with current gas prices, drivers will be paying about $24 more this year to fill a 14-gallon tank. Meanwhile, about 320 Southern Californian residents will travel by plane. Average airfare costs are up 6% from last year, and mid-range hotel rates have climbed 42%. The most popular destinations for Southern California over the holiday are Mexico, Las Vegas, Grand Canyon National Park, San Diego, and, of course, the Central Coast. All right, so let's take a current look at those gas prices. According to AAA, the average price for a gallon of gas hit another high record, currently at $4.52 for a gallon of regular. Our state average, like I mentioned, also a new record, $6.02. Here in Kern County, our average is $5.93. Obviously, we're seeing many stations over $6. So our website will track the lowest prices in the Bakersfield area for you, thanks to GasBuddy.com. Today, the lowest price we can find, $5.27 at the Gas Co. on South Chester Avenue. Now, those prices do change often, so to find a station near you with the cheapest gas, head over to our website, kget.com.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.